cold emailing is not dead. Although the argument is still up for discussion. But from my experience, I still find there is immense opportunity still. And in this video, I'm going to share with you some simple tips of how I approached the cold emailing process to build a client portfolio of 15 celebrity and public figure personalities. And hey, if you haven't headed down there yet and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified each and every time we do our job by putting some new videos and content out there for you so that YouTube can do their job, then head down there and hit the good old subscribe button, the notification bell. See, I almost double dipped on that one. Notification bell, and rock and roll with us. By the way, as I like to say, that these are the same methods that I have used to do business with Hollywood, celebrities, agents, and managers, speak on over 300 stages around the country, cold call into Fortune 100, 500, 1,000 companies, successfully build relationships, get the business done, and certainly have the right relationships and mentorship from top sales leaders and business titans from around the nation. And what an honor it is to be here to be able to share that with you. So let's rock and roll and jump right into this and get going. All right. So the first thing is this: stop guessing, start testing. Now, what does that mean, Manny? So you might be thinking, okay, great. In 2021, sending out an email in the anticipation of getting something back from someone, whether that's to a list that you've procured from a service like Fiverr or from your own doing and going out and finding some free data lists to be able to access, to bring in, that you've formulated, regardless of how that works. When you're guessing and you're not testing, you're essentially subscribing to the idea of hope. And hope is not a reliable strategy. So when it comes to this piece, enough is enough. Because if I send out an email to someone and I have no idea whether or not they opened it, read it, reopened it, then guess what? I'm basically shooting into the dark, and I don't like to personally shoot into the dark. So that actually takes me to the second phase of what would be tools. So the second thing is to have the right tools. Now, email software, tracking emails, and putting pins and points on every activity that happens with that beautiful, well-designed, carefully crafted, thoughtful email that you invest your time to send to a prospect or to a lead, to get their attention or to move them through the sales process. Without the right data tracking it, oh my Lord, it's going to be a miserable time, because you are going to have no evidence of any activity that's going to support you making intelligent decisions, and therefore knowing how to respond, if to respond, with what different type of an email, what different type of copy, what different type of subject line. Are they curious? Do they keep opening it 5 or 6 times? Hey, it matters and it works. And so the cool part about this is, whether you're an entrepreneur or you're just studying within a company, the beautiful thing is that if the company provides this to you, great, use their software. A lot of companies don't. Let me tell you, when I was working for the company that I had to go out there and do this process for on my own, we had a lot of great tools, but this email tracking software wasn't one of them. So I had to institute that on my own so I could pay attention to what was happening. Now, let me give you a couple quick tools that I have used. I'll never suggest anything that I haven't used. The first one is going to be Yesware. Yesware. Somewhere around $15 a month for the basic package. And then as you elevate, I think it goes $35 and above for whatever tier that you choose to use. And that one right there was the exact method, the exact software that I used to have optics and have real data as to the performance of my emails, and certainly the recipients' activity as to what they were doing with my emails. And that helped me earn significant business. The second one that I'm using currently actually happens to be built into Hubspot. So whether you are part of a team that has some other type of software or not, Hubspot is a very awesome tool that can give you optics into that as well by emailing through and integrating your email into that to be able to keep performance measures in place so that you know exactly what's going on there. So I suggest Yesware and HubSpot, and no, I'm not going to be putting a affiliate link down there because I don't do that. So that's just my suggestions for what I've used and how it's worked for me. Very affordable, piece of cake. And listen, if you're on a shoestring budget, for those of you that are just getting started out in sales or the company's not doing it for you, if you got to go borrow a couple extra bucks a month, bucks, not buns, bucks a month, then by God, this is so important because guess what? When you look at the opportunity of what you could develop in business versus what is actually happening right now, the cost of these tools and these resources are very minor in most cases compared to what you could earn. And honestly, it just integrates itself into the process. You need to have these tools and resources available to you so that you can perform at the highest level in your sales profession as a professional, whether you're an expert, mid-tier, just getting started, whether you have your own business or an entrepreneur, it matters. Okay. So by the way, hey, check this out. If you're liking this content so far, just real here, quick. Now we just jumped into this. Go ahead down there and hit that like button. But I'm more curious to know, what are you currently using? How are you currently using tools and software and tracking services to manage the performance of your emails as you send them out cold so that you can see everything that's going on in real time? Go ahead, drop down there in the comments. Let me know what you're using, what you're not using, or what you're stuck with. Because if you're stuck with something, I want to jump back in here and be able to provide you some more strategies and tips and videos that I can help support you with, because hey, at the end of the day, that's what I'm here to do. So going backwards, number one, stop guessing, start testing. Right? That's the first thing. Hope is not a strategy. Enough with hoping and not having optics on the performance of your cold emails. Second thing are the tools. Make sure you jump in there, like I've suggested, to Yesware or HubSpot and start utilizing the email tracking software so you can watch in real time how your recipients are, in fact, opening or not opening, so that you have real information and insight to make the next smart moves in the follow-up. And the third thing that I want to go into is this, and this is so important. It's more of an intangible when it comes to the process. After you've got those couple there set up in place, the next third thing for this process is going to be your level of persistence and determination. See, if sales professionals could understand one thing, now I get the right skill set and I understand getting creative and pushing through with quality subject lines and bodies of emails and having the right scripts and doing those things. Fair enough. I've been there. I've experienced it. I'm with you and I can relate. But this one word, the P word, the level of persistence, and I'll even add another one onto that for you, the level of perseverance that you can have inside of a process where, understandably so, you have an avatar, which means you have a good client, you have a great person or persona that you're looking to go into business with to attract to become clients of yours, and you've situated that, and you've gone through the formula of gathering the data. Hey, who are these people? What's their role in a company? What are their interests, their needs, wants, wishes, and desires? And how does that formulate itself? Can I get their contact points? And can I have a phone number and an email for them? Fantastic. That's all you need. Now, guess what? I am going to the cold emailing and to the cold calling process. And cold calling we'll talk about in a different video that I'll put together for you. But for this particular piece here with cold emailing, measure your level of persistence daily. So you do that by understanding, hey, okay, now I have this tool in place. Now I've sent out an email and I've realized that I've sent out 100 emails with all the same subject line and all the same body of copy, and only 3 people opened that. Okay, well, guess what? Maybe there is a bit of an issue with your subject line. So now I have to go back and tweak the subject line. Okay, great. Well, I'm going to then recalibrate and I'm going to put into the chamber another email to the 97 people that didn't open it with a different subject line, and maybe try out a different couple of words to begin the email with. And this is important because if you're not willing to persevere and persist in the process of following up with your prospective clients to make them customers, then you're not going to have even a spot at the table to play a potentially winnable game so that you can earn the right to the business. So over time, all this stuff starts to stack up. And so why it's so important to get out there and test and then tool and then persevere is because it's actually a model that drives it forward. Now, I'll never tell you that that's everything. There are other little intricate details and there's formulas and processes for that that ideally you would have some insight as to. By the way, if there's something in here that you want me to jump into more specifically and you're hearing something that stands out to you, drop me a comment right there. Please, I would love to hear what I'm not covering for you so that I can go back and create something for you all so that you have the answers as I've experienced them. Because by the way, I don't know all the answers, nor do I claim to be the best in the world ever at anything outside of what I've done and the mission to continue to move forward on behalf of supporting you all, providing you the most immense value. So going back to this, I want to stress to you the level of determination that comes through the persistence and the perseverance in the activity of yourself in the micro of the cold emailing process. Because I will tell you from my own experience, I was able to successfully use cold emailing to build the client portfolio of 15 celebrity and public figure personalities that did business with me and us, and the relationships were great and developed and we fulfilled. And I still have those relationships and friends, and it was amazing. And now I'm suggesting to you that no matter what you hear, you got to weed through the nonsense at times, and you got to step up to the plate and follow these strategic steps, okay? Because there's not just one thing, there's a lot of things. Winning isn't just one way faceted, it's multifaceted. Oftentimes you have to take steps when you don't even know that there's going to be something there. And in cold emailing, it's a lot of the same. But the better that you start testing, the better that you stop hoping in that process and you start using the tools to be able to help you inform yourself to make smart decisions in your cold emails. And then the more that you persevere through it backwards, through the tool and through the testing, you are going to run into some dynamic cold emailing success. And that is what I would love for you to experience. So, hey, it's been a pleasure being here with you on this particular video for the cold emailing tips that I've used on how to develop that process and educate the masses on the same process that could hopefully be beneficial to you over time while instituting it, because that's what's most important is the actual use of the assets, the tools, and the education, putting it into practice, going back to it and working on some cool iterations so that you can go out there, be a superstar, have all the sales appeal in the world, and rock and dominate the leaderboard of your company or your business. And for that, that's all I got. It's been amazing to be with you all again. Would really appreciate the love, the comments, the likes, all that stuff matters. Hopefully you're enjoying this stuff so far, and I will see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.